is Children's Crafts, Lifeway, Cranes, and concrete and cranes. Sorry about that. I've seen so much concrete and cranes everywhere I go. This is a great theme. Last year, the theme was released in June, and I said, oh, great, the boys will think this is marvelous. The girl, well, anyway, we always have stuff for girls, and we don't always have stuff for boys, but we can always make it in pink and purple, and it's fine. Everything's better in pink and purple if you're a girl, so it doesn't matter if you have a train and a truck, it's pink or purple, it's great. My name is Sue Ann Pittman. I serve on the team for the Dallas Baptist Association. I've been on this team for a number of years, like 25 years or so. Anyway, these ideas will be online through DBA. You'll be able to find out the tips that I have, and I share what I think Lifeway did wrong or what they should have done to be better. For me, as one who serves and does this with children, children's crafts are 1st through 5th grade. I kind of emphasize that because kindergarten can't do some of this. And, if you get the child in there and they can't do it, they're frustrated. So just remember 1st through 5th grade, ever how you break it up. This year's theme is a little different, but it's talking about foundations because we build on a foundation. The first foundation is the foundation of love. And in your book, you'll be able to see where Matthew was chosen as a disciple. And most of your church children will know who the disciples are. But let's call them helpers in addition to that, because there's going to be children that are not church children or that aren't around church to know about disciples. So we'll be able to share that with them. One of the first crafts, which this is preschool perfect, even though it's in the children. So I'm going to be doing it on a larger bag than this. Go ahead and have this written on here, and the children will write their name on there. We will have this little heart that I've cut out of Ritz cracker box or cereal box, just so it's hard. We'll put it on here. We're going to get sidewalk chalk and smear around this. Then put the sidewalk chalk down, and they can do it with their fingers because they got to get messy, but chalk's not too bad to clean up unless they have a black shirt on and they go like that, and then it doesn't look too hot. But Mother won't be too upset with us if it's chalk. We send our crafts home every day in a bag. Not necessarily this size. Sometimes they're bigger bags. It depends on who went bagging and who got what as to what we use. So ours are usually from Brahms. They'll be a little bigger than this. If they have Brahms written on them, you can put a piece of tape across it, cranes and concrete, logos, that kind of stuff, and just cover their stuff up. They won't know, but this will be something good for them to put in their stuff in. The last step of this, which I will tell you real quick what we do at the table. We have no chairs, because that's just a tripping hazard, and he hit me, he pinched me. So you take the chairs away, and you do crafts on the table. So I would have these crafts the bags laying out on the table, and I would have this written on it, and they would write their name in the middle of the bag. And then we would have a piece of tape already attached to that heart, and we would hand them one. They would put it over their name. Then they would do the chalk around it. The last step is for the teacher to spray it with hairspray to keep it on there. So we would move them from this table over here, and Miss Debbie would spray them with hairspray, and then she'll take them down the hall because we're going to collect everything from the missions, the Bible study, all the activities we've done, and put that in a bag to send home. I know that was a long explanation, but I needed you to know all that. This is one of the kits. Lifeway has 6 or 7 kits. I don't remember this year. This is called a barricade door hanger. Now, they would love this on the outside of their door. But when they take this home, I want them to remember, oh yeah, I made that in Bible school, and that was the day Matthew got chosen because of God's love and how we love one another. I want them to connect that. Another way you can do this, it's suggested in the preschool, is, and it might work well for this age group, is to use a pipe cleaner for this and have them put beads on it as like pony beads, different colored pony beads. Or you can just use the pipe cleaner as the hanger, and it's much easier to thread through the hole. If you're gonna do this kind and not do the pipe cleaners, I suggest you go ahead and tie these on prior to the children getting there. The kit comes with these little barricade orange things. They do not have stickers on the back of them. So you get to glue them on with tacky glue. Sometimes that's messy. But you could also just decorate it with stickers, which is another good option. Okay, and then we have one of the coolest things that we have. It is a washer bracelet. Real inexpensive if you can find the right washers, because you can use any kind of string. This I use butcher twine. It just says string or cord. It doesn't give you a clue thick or thin, so you will practice before you do it. They can write with a Sharpie on this metal. They can write their name. They can write love. In the instructions, when you're tying the knot, it says go through the bead one way with one thread, the other way with the other thread, and that's what keeps it on. But if you'll notice, I have some tape on there to make it stiff to be able to go through there. Limp thread or cord is not going to do this. Something I just thought about, all these little containers here, and I'll try to show you those better. These are made out of boxes of all kinds. This is my dishwasher detergent, and I just put paper on the top of it, taped it on there, and then we spray painted it. And this, everybody knows what this is. These are toolboxes, but you can still hold on to them. You might even want to make these for your children. That's a Folgers can. This is one I came up with by myself because I'm preschool oriented. That's just the top cut off of a regular grocery sack. This one down here is just another box. But you notice I have duct tape on some of these. You put duct tape, you fold it over, and it makes a good smooth. Or you could put string, poke a hole in it, put string, all kinds of stuff. Okay, day 2 is the foundation of promise. No, it's one of the foundations. Right now, I don't know, but I'll tell you in a second. This is a puzzle that is made from craft sticks. And I'll take it out and let you see a little bit of it. There is a template in the back of the craft book that you cut the template out. You glue it on 5 of these that have been taped together with masking tape. And you let them color the picture. And then when it is done, you can open up the scissors and you can slit, like fold this over and you slit right there. And it's not going to be a really, really smooth edge, but I think it'll be something the kids will like. It has a magnet strip on the back of it because it becomes a puzzle. On the refrigerator, if you have an old refrigerator, if you have a new refrigerator, you might have to use one of Mama's cookie sheets. But that is something, again, they will have and can play with throughout the year. This is the foundation of forgiveness. I told you I would remember. This is a craft kit. Don't try to buy all these little beads to do this. You'll get this huge bag of these little tiny beads, and there'll only be 4 Ks, 4 Fs. So if you're going to make this craft, which is something, it's a backpack or a zipper pull, they would put it on their backpack. And I know it seems like they do that every year, they put backpack. But where else can people, little kids, take something and everybody see it, and then they can say, oh yeah, that's Bible school. So they got it on their backpack, so it's going to be there all day. Okay, next we have the greatest craft ever. I would not do this with my children, but I think it's the greatest craft ever. We keep our 3-year-old granddaughter, and Granddad thought it would be the greatest thing to buy slime. Well, he bought slime. He's usually taking a nap when we have to play with it. Initially, when I put this together, it was very sticky, like really sticky. The book gives you strict instructions, and you have to go by those. They told us that at conference, and I proved them. You know, sometimes you just got to be proved. I'm not from Missouri, but you just got to be proven. It says glow in the dark glue. You have to use glow in the dark glue. Walmart is where we found it, and it wasn't with the kits that you can buy from Hobby Lobby and Walmart that give you all the ingredients to make this. This is a fourth of what the batch made. Contact solution, of all things, is like a tablespoon. It makes all this react together. And I think there's glue. There's only like 3 ingredients, glue and salt, and you stir it and make it mix together, and it's great. Kids will love it. Don't let them play with it at church unless you want to clean up the mess. So I have a handy dandy little wet wipe here just because I knew that was going to be the case. Kids will love that. Teachers, not so much. This is obviously on a paper plate. It said do it on a 9-inch paper plate, but that's the template it gave us. So again, this is a heart. And if you'll notice, we try to have, Lifeway tries to have everything theme-oriented as well as foundation-oriented or love-oriented. There is, every day you can do Jesus loves me, Jesus loves. So this is an alternate from that, but Jesus showed his major love by dying on the cross. This is a craft kit. Don't try this because it has to be cut out perfectly if you're going to do this. But it does have a magnet on the back of it. The problem with craft kits, I didn't have a problem with this one, but I'll tell you about one later. They're assembly lines, so sometimes they forget to put one, or you might have 2 of something and not of another. So open your kits before you expose them to the children and say, okay, this is what we've got to do. Whoops. Okay, this is a prayer toolbox. It has 3x5 cards in it, and it's supposed to have 3x5 cards in it. You let the children write prayers on it because there was a lot of praying done for Jesus before he went and hung on the cross. So this is the day of prayer, and sometimes their prayers are silly. They want to pray for grandma's next door neighbor who had a friend whose dog died. So, get them to be a little more specific in their prayers. I think they should decorate this, color it, marker it, write prayer toolbox. I did not do this because we were going to have some Lifeway stickers, and I didn't want to use all of my stickers. But you can, under construction, prayer pays, whatever they want to come up with, they need to put their names on it. That's another thing that we have problem with. First thing you do is put your name on it because Miss Debbie's going to try to match everybody's with their name. So if she's got a bag with their name on it, then we're doing good. Okay, this is day 4, and I keep saying day 4 because this curriculum is written for 5 days. Now, one of the ones I help with, they do the first day on Sunday, and then we have Bible school for 4 days, and we're done on Friday. This is Blueprint Maze. Boys, I think, will just think this is the craziest thing. They'll just love it. But, boys are just different from girls. Girls might enjoy it, too. This is a golf tee. Very inexpensive because I had a friend who plays golf, so I had to get one. And basically this is a little guy that's cut out. They'll get to color it. This is a paper clip that's on it. He's on the blueprint. That has a little button magnet. And you just pull him along the blueprint. And if I do it next time, I would get a larger paper clip because his feet come down. So you need to bend his feet up to have that to go down flat. Again, try these before you do them. It says laminate if possible, but I just used packing tape. And that would be something, Miss Debbie or Miss Pam over here is going to have to do after they color it. They would have to laminate it. But it's kind of cute. And it's something they would actually play with. Not always are these things we send home or stuff they play with. This is a little pouch, pouch, I guess it depends on if you're a boy or a girl. This is a craft kit. and it is just cut out flat and folded up. When we went to training, they told us, don't try to cut this out, because each one of these have to be bent at a specific place, and if they're not, it won't fold and go as it needs to. But it suggests putting money, this is a little purse for them to put money to take to the church for missions for others' children to hear. Okay, and this is a Jesus Loves Me mirror. This is a craft kit. If you're gonna do this craft, you need to order the craft kit. Not always is that true of Lifeway, but this time it is. Also online, you're gonna have available cost if you go and buy it all. And those were done in Oklahoma City. I did not do them, somebody did them. And the prices may vary from the Metroplex to Oklahoma City, I don't know. This does have a film over it that can be taken off, but this is mirrored paper. It's kind of expensive if you go and do it. Art foam stickers would not be, but this is kind of expensive, so I think it's still going to be cheaper for you to do that. It does not have a magnet on the back of it, so my deal is you either put a magnet on the back of it or the Coke little tab things you could glue there and it could be hung. But I think this is something that would remind them very, very much so of that. Okay, then we have day 5. That is, oh, here we go. That is the glow-in-the-dark glue. Now, this is a tape measure, but it's a trick tape measure, so I think they're going to really like it. I will tell you, it is put in here backwards because, you know, it needs to be put in where you can read that way. So the kids say, let me measure that for you, and they pull it out, and it's got their verse on it for the day. It is a lot of trouble to go through and mark the notches off for an inch, half inch, all of those. So thanks to Michael's, they have tape that already has it on there. So you would go ahead and cut this out, put that tape on it, and write over it on your verse. This was less than $2, and I wouldn't do it the other way. Okay. Here we go. This was something I was talking about earlier. I'd gotten 2 sets of craft kits. Yes, that's what I mean. The one I got did not have shutters in it, and it did not have a magnet to put on the back. So make sure if you order the craft kits, you look at each one of them, make sure all the parts are there. This is not a 4x6 or a 5x7 size. So if you're going to take pictures of the kids, I would suggest you'll have to put it on something. Or if you don't want to take pictures of kids, write the foundations of life. This one is Foundation for Life, and it is the wise man and the foolish man. That's why all the little rocks in the big building. But this is the greatest one in all of these. And I'm going to tell you what it is. It is a trivet, and it has rocks glued on it, and this will remind us the wise man and the foolish man. The wise man built his house on the rock. But in purchasing items to make these crafts, this is samples of floor, those boards you put together, so they have a little tongue and groove here. So my sweet son-in-law cut the tongues off, and it made it square. These were 22 and 26 cents. I don't remember, they're 2 different colors. But then you just use clear tacky glue to put the rocks on there with. Okay, that is an overview, quick overview, I might add. And again, online from DBA, you'll be able to get the critiques, and I'll leave my contact information, and he can put that on there, and I'll answer questions. I'm good at giving an opinion. You can ask my family. Dollar Tree is our best friend with buying extra things and things that can go with our theme. There's tools. You can buy a cart of tools that has a screwdriver and a nut driver and 2 or 3 things. Kids will love to play with those in an off time or early activity. They also have a bunch of Legos. I couldn't even think of that. They have the little tiny ones. They have little squares, which are about 4 inches square, and you can use those for a coaster. They have tablecloths. You can have a whole Lego building thing with that. Okay, that is the children's crafts, and then I have some little extra things that I have gotten. They're the preteen, which is called VBX. And I only made 4 of the crafts. I will tell you about the first one, and I didn't do it. It requires a board, and, you know, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't around a board when I was doing all this. It has a template, and the letters love are written on it. What you do is you put tacks and outline that, and then you get string art like I did when I was in junior high. So, you know, it's new again. It's back new again. And you do the string. We used embroidery thread. I'm sure they have fancy thread to use now that's called, I don't know, lacing thread or something. But it ends up, it's like a plaque they can hang on the wall that they've done, and it's string art. So it's kind of cool. Very inexpensive, but you have to buy the tool to do it. These are carpenter pencils. I couldn't think of that. Very inexpensive. I think they're 22 cents a piece, something like that at Home Depot. What you do is you take a metal tool and a hammer. The metal tool I bought at Hobby Lobby, and they were like $22, but you were able to get the letters, and there's a deal you buy, and you line them up, and you just tap each one of them. This is preteen. I would not do this with younger children than preteen, but we do an adult VBS, and we'll probably do this with our adults because they might actually use this. Another one of their crafts, can't do that, that's the coolest one, is Jesus will never let go of me. And Legos are glued on here. I have a few others, little Lego things. If you don't want to buy a wooden frame, this is just a mat that you could glue it on. Or my daughter has suggested, you know, get people to bring their old picture frames they don't want anymore, and you can spray paint them, and then you can let go. Don't let Jesus let go of me. And then this is a t-shirt that's been in the bag too long. That says worth. How you do this is there is a template, and you outline it with a dull pencil. You go in and use a crayon, and then you're able to iron that sandpaper onto this. It's kind of cool. I wouldn't try it with anybody but preteens. And then the coolest thing ever, fidget spinners, homemade fidget spinners. These are wing nuts. This on the top is called a cap nut, and these in the middle are just regular nuts. So you've got his feet, you've got his hands, and I've got them up. My deal with this would be glue this cap nut on. It is not, you just draw a little face on it and all that. I think 4th and 5th graders could make these. Just get super glue or something and glue those on at the very end. Okay, I hope this has helped you with getting your VBS together, and I hope that you have a great Concrete and Cranes 2020 VBS.